What's up team? Let's talk nutrition, get it sorted, help you lose fat if you're struggling, you've hit a plateau, if you're trying to build muscle and you can't seem to get the right calories in, we're gonna clear it up once and for all right now. John's not here, so welcome back JC. Anyway, so what we're talking about is TDEE. Still, a lot of people get confused about this subject, so we're gonna clear it right now. What is TDEE? It is the calculation of the amount of calories that you need to stay in the exact same position you are right now. So you want to maintain. And it is made up of a few things. This part, around 60 to 70%, is your BMR. Essentially, keeping you alive, general bodily functions. TEF, or the thermic effect of food. Every time we eat and digest something, it costs energy from the system. NEAT, non-exercise activated thermogenesis. This is your movement which isn't tracked within the gym. So walking around at work, walking to work, walking around the wards, whatever it may well be. And finally, EAT, or exercise activated thermogenesis. This is your workouts. All of this, once you've calculated it, is your TDEE. And the most important thing to remember at this point, if you are tracking your calories on something like MyFitnessPal and you're adding your exercise into that, so it's giving you calories back, stop doing it because it's already been activated or included within your TDEE. So for instance, if you're trying to be in a caloric deficit, so your calories are a little bit lower, then you do a workout, it gives you 100, 200 calories back. You might have lost your deficit and then you're back at your maintenance of TDEE. Got that? Cool, let's move on. I've linked a calculator in the description box below. Go and get that number, and then we're gonna move on with 2 examples to help you either build muscle or lose fat. Example number 1, we're gonna pretend that John is now turned into my client Doris. She's done her TDEE and it tells her that she should be in 2,000 calories to maintain her current weight. I've spoke to her and I've said, right, what's been going on, Doris? She's like, I put myself into a 500 calorie deficit, which is amazing because you need a caloric deficit to train or to lose fat. And then she's also doing 4 training sessions per week, right? And she's got to a point where she's going, well, I'm not losing any more weight and I don't understand why because I'm in a calorie deficit. What's going on now? And this is where I need your help. First of all, a 500 calorie deficit alone is quite massive. One metric that we don't tend to really measure too much is training. Why? Because training sessions fluctuate, your mood changes, your motivation level changes. Training, just see it as a bonus. But for the sake of this example, let's say for instance, she's burning around 100 calories in each session, right? So she's doing 4 sessions plus the 5. In total, she's in a 900 calorie average deficit, right? So that leaves her at around 1,100 calories per day. There's a good reason why she's not losing weight. Her maintenance is 2,000. Her BMR, so the amount the calories need or your body needs just to keep you alive and bodily functions, is around 60 to 70% of that. So this number of calories is barely enough to even keep her bodily functions happy without creating a stressful environment. So having that much of a deficit is not going to be good long term. Where do you go? She's at her plateau now. Where do you go? Do you take more calories away? Do you add more training sessions? There's not really a lot you can do. And so many people out there watching this video either are in this position or have been in this position. So let's fix it. So if you've just done your TDEE calculator for the first time and you don't have a clue what you're currently eating, get that number, write it down, put it to one side, and then I urge you to go and track your calories for a week to 2 weeks to get a good average calories that you're having per day right now. Because for this example, this is absolutely brilliant. Say for instance, your TDEE comes out at 2,000, what you need, and you're currently on average eating 1,100 calories. You get the TDEE calculation, oh, it needs to be 2,000. Overnight, you add 1,100 calories to your diet. What's gonna happen? You're gonna gain a ton of fat and you're probably gonna feel quite uncomfortable. So it's really important to get a good overview of exactly where you are right now. Say for instance, you've done that and you're under eating, where a lot of people are when they wanna lose fat. 9 times out of 10, their calories are too low. This is where you come back to me at this point right now. This is the example and this is the way that I would taper up Doris's calories to get her to a nice functional level. So the golden number for me would be around 1,750 calories to 1,800, right? 1,800 is still going to be a 200 calorie deficit, which is still a pretty decent deficit. Remember, it just has to be about 10% lower than your maintenance calories. To get her there, I will take 3 to 4 weeks of slow increments. So she starts at 2,000. For the first week, she starts at 1,100, sorry. I'm gonna go, right, so let's go to 1,250. How do you feel after 3 or 4 days? Yeah, I feel pretty good. I'm not feeling too bloated, I'm feeling comfortable. Okay, we'll go to 1,500 for the next 4 to 5 days. You know where I'm going with this. We'll go to 1,750. How do you feel? How are the scales looking? Have they settled down? You might gain a couple of pounds and then lose it again. Remember, another metric we don't worry too much about is the scales. Let's go on energy levels, but just for the sake of this. She's like, yeah, I feel great, I feel great. I'm like, cool, let's go to 18, keep it there for the next 4 weeks, keep your training consistent as it is right now, and we will come back. If you need more calories at that point, which I'm pretty certain that she will, we'll bring them up a little bit. If your activity levels need to change, we can bring your activity levels up. Example for building muscle. Doris has now built some muscles, fan-freaking-tastic. Remember, TDEE, maintenance calories were 2,000. She's turned around and gone, right, I've hit that plateau, I've started putting on weight, I feel like I'm not building too much muscle, I feel like I'm just feeling fat. What she did, for example, was like, I need to be in a surplus to build muscle, yeah? I need to take in more energy than my body's using. So she said, let's go up to 3,000 calories. If you jump from 2,000 calories a day to 3,000 calories a day, you're taking in an extra 7,000 calories per week. That's £2, right? There's no two ways about it. When it comes to building muscle and getting heavier and all that kind of stuff, there is gonna be an element of fat gain. There's no two ways about it, it just happens. But we want to, as a coach, limit that as much as we possibly can. And by jumping up by 1,000 calories, that's just insane. Don't do that, right? So first of all, do your TDE, do your diary, you get to your average calories, you found your maintenance calories, freaking awesome. What am I gonna do? I'm gonna go, let's go to 2,200. How do you feel after a week? Yeah, I feel great. If anything, the scales aren't moving. Okay, add another 200. Where are they then? Scales aren't moving, feeling great. Okay, add another 200. Oh, okay, I'm up half a pound. Fantastic. At this point, my client, or Doris, is eating 2,600 calories, which is still getting very close to that 3,000, but we've done it in incremental steps over a few weeks. The body's able to adjust. It's not gaining so much fat. It's not holding so much fat. It's using the added energy rather than just getting loads in and having to store it in the form of fat. So the most important thing to remember on both ends of the scale, you need to chill. Small increments, be as close to your TDEE as you possibly can if you want to lose fat while still being in deficit. So I hope that helps solve that or get you through that plateau if you've been struggling with it. TDEE, diary, small increments, either way, be patient, it will happen, trust me. Unless there's loads of other medical issues going on that you need to worry about and see a doctor for, that is all you need to know nutritionally. We can worry about macros, we can worry about all that sort of stuff further down the line, but to start with, just get your calories right. Trust me, it will work. I hope this helped. Give it a massive thumbs up if it did. If you've got any more questions whatsoever, pop them in the description box below, and I will see you soon. See you later from John.